London is a city that never seems to sleep. It's always full of life and noise. On a normal Tuesday morning like today, the 15th of July 2025, the city is already very busy. The red buses are moving slowly through the streets, full of people going to work or to see the famous sights. The Tube, the underground train system, is packed with commuters. They stand close together, reading their phones or the morning papers. Above ground, people are rushing along the pavements. They're heading to their offices, to the shops, or to meet friends for a coffee. The sounds of the city are everywhere. The rumble of traffic, the chatter of voices, and the distant chime of Big Ben. It's just another ordinary day in a great bustling city. In the parks, like Hyde Park or Regent's Park, things are a little calmer. Children are laughing on the playgrounds and people are walking their dogs along the green paths. Tourists are taking photographs of the beautiful flowers and the grand old trees. They're trying to capture a piece of London's charm to take home with them. In the sky above, planes are a common sight. They look like tiny silver birds drawing white lines against the blue. They're flying into Heathrow or Gatwick, two of the busiest airports in the world. For most people on the ground, these planes are just part of the background noise of the city, a normal part of London life that they hardly even notice anymore. The people of London are from all over the world. They speak many different languages and have many different stories. You can see this diversity on any street corner. A banker in a smart suit might be walking next to an artist with paint on their jeans. A student with a heavy backpack might be asking a friendly police officer for directions. This mix of people is what makes London so special. Everyone is busy with their own lives, their own plans and their own worries. On this particular morning, no one has any idea that their normal day is about to be interrupted in a way they could never have imagined. They're all just living their lives, minute by minute. The city's rhythm is steady and predictable. The coffee shops are full, the markets are opening, and the museums are getting ready to welcome visitors. From the tall office buildings in Canary Wharf to the historic houses in Kensington, London is a place of routine and order. Each person plays a small part in keeping the city moving. The bus driver, the shopkeeper, the teacher, the office worker, they all have a role. It's this combined effort that makes London work. It's a city built on the small, everyday actions of millions of people all moving together like a giant, complicated but well-practiced dance. On this day, that dance was about to come to a sudden, shocking stop. Suddenly, a sound unlike any other rips through the morning air. It's not the familiar sound of a passing jet, it's a terrible low roar that gets louder and louder, making the windows of buildings shake. People on the street stop what they're doing. They look up at the sky, their faces filled with confusion and then with fear. For a moment, the entire city seems to hold its breath. The normal sounds of traffic and conversation die away, replaced by this one dreadful noise. The plane is flying far too low. It's not heading towards an airport. Something is clearly terribly wrong. The feeling of a normal day is shattered in an instant, replaced by a deep, cold sense of dread. The plane crashes. The impact sends a shockwave through the nearby streets. For the passengers on board, their journey has ended in the most frightening way possible. Their plans, their dreams, and their lives are cut short in a moment of chaos. On the ground, the lives of ordinary Londoners are also changed forever. People who were simply walking to work or sitting in a cafe are suddenly witnesses to a disaster. The sight is one they will never be able to forget. The initial shock is overwhelming, and for a few seconds there's a strange and eerie silence as people try to understand what they've just seen and heard. Then the silence is broken by the sound of sirens. The city's emergency services spring into action immediately. From fire stations, police stations and ambulance depots all over London, vehicles begin to race towards the scene. These are the brave men and women whose job it is to run towards danger when everyone else is running away. The rescue teams, the paramedics and the police officers know they're heading into a very difficult and dangerous situation. They've trained for events like this, but no training can ever fully prepare someone for the reality of such a large-scale emergency. Their only thought is to get there as fast as they can and to help as many people as possible. For the people nearby, the initial shock quickly turns into a powerful instinct to help. Shopkeepers run out of their stores with bottles of water and first aid kits. Office workers rush out of their buildings to see if they can offer assistance. Strangers begin talking to each other, offering comfort and support. In a moment of crisis, the usual barriers between people disappear. No one is a banker or a student or a tourist anymore. They're all just people, united by a shared sense of shock and a deep human need to help one another. The city, which was a collection of millions of separate lives just moments before, now has a single urgent focus: to respond to the tragedy. In the hours that follow the crash, the incredible spirit of Londoners shines through. People open their homes to those who have been evacuated from the area, offering them a safe place to stay, a warm cup of tea, and a kind word. Community centres and places of worship quickly become temporary shelters, with volunteers organising blankets, food and drinks for the emergency workers and anyone else affected. The city's famous black cabs and other drivers offer free rides to people trying to get away from the area or to those trying to find their loved ones. In the face of disaster, the city shows its true character, which is one of strength, kindness and community. The rescue teams work tirelessly. Firefighters battle flames and work carefully through the wreckage, searching for survivors. Paramedics treat the injured, making difficult decisions quickly to save lives. Police officers work to make the area safe, to guide people away from danger, and to begin the long process of figuring out what happened. These emergency workers are incredibly brave. They face heartbreaking scenes, but they carry on with professionalism and courage. They work for hours without a break, fueled by adrenaline and a deep commitment to their duty. They're the heroes of the day, a thin line of defense against chaos and despair, and their efforts are truly remarkable. The news spreads quickly across the city and around the world. On television screens and mobile phones, people watch the events unfold with sadness and disbelief. For many Londoners, there's a feeling of deep shock. The city can often feel so big and impersonal, but an event like this makes everyone feel connected. They worry about the people on the plane and their families. They worry about the people who live and work near the crash site. There's a quiet, somber mood across the capital as the normal hustle and bustle is replaced by a shared sense of grief and concern for their fellow citizens. Even those who are far away from the scene find ways to help. People line up to donate blood, knowing that it will be needed by the hospitals treating the injured. Online fundraising pages are set up and donations pour in from all over the country and the world to support the victims and their families. Messages of support and solidarity are shared widely on social media, creating a virtual community of care. This collective response shows that even a huge, sprawling city like London can come together as one big family in a time of need. The actions of ordinary people, both big and small, make a huge difference, offering a glimmer of hope in the darkest of times. An emergency like a plane crash teaches us a very important lesson. It shows us why it is so vital for a city to be prepared for the unexpected. London, like all major cities, has detailed emergency plans. These plans are created to make sure that the police, fire and ambulance services can work together effectively when a disaster happens. They practice these plans regularly so that if the worst should happen, the response is as fast and organized as possible. This preparation is crucial. It helps to save lives and reduce chaos. It ensures that help can get to where it is needed most as quickly as possible, turning a chaotic scene into a managed response. For individuals, it is also important to know what to do in an emergency. The simplest things can make a big difference. Knowing the emergency number to call is the first step. It's also a good idea to listen to the advice of the emergency services and to follow their instructions carefully. If you're told to stay away from an area, it's for your own safety and to allow rescue teams to do their work without obstruction. Staying calm and helping others if you can are also very important actions. A city is safer when its people are not only cared for by emergency services, but are also able to help themselves and each other in a sensible way. The aftermath of a tragedy is always a time of great sadness. It reminds us that life can be very fragile, but it also shows us the incredible strength of the human spirit. The stories of bravery, kindness, and community that emerge from such events are powerful. They show that even in the face of terrible loss, people come together to support and care for one another. This sense of unity and compassion is a source of great hope. It demonstrates that our instinct to help our fellow human beings is strong. It's this spirit that helps a city to heal and to rebuild after a disaster. Ultimately, a city is more than just buildings and streets. It's the people who live in it. The way people respond to a crisis defines the character of their city. The story of London, in this imagined tragedy, is one of resilience. It's a story of ordinary people becoming heroes, of strangers becoming neighbors, and of a community coming together in the face of adversity. By learning from such events, and by always being prepared, we can ensure our cities are not only vibrant places to live, but also safe and supportive communities, ready to face any challenge that may come their way. The hope is that we never have to face such a day, but if we do, we will face it together.